Is not it strange that being happy when you are by yourself sounds like a contradiction in a world that is always makes us want to connect with others, get approval and love from them? The idea of it might seem hard to be truly happy without anyone else's help, but take a moment to think about it. Think, does our happiness really depend on the relationships we have with other people? Regardless of the outside conditions, Stoicism is a timeless philosophy that sends a strong message. You already have everything you need to feel whole and at peace. Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It means you know how to be happy. Master, let me teach you lessons that I've learned from Stoicism and from personal experience. Here are some useful, life-changing steps that will help you not just survive and grow in your freedom. These are not empty, not just ideas, but tools you can use right away, so stay on track and don't miss it. On one part of this trip, happiness is waiting for you. Let's go on an adventure. How to find it? First, find freedom in letting go. We cling to the familiar, even when it hurts, because we're afraid of the fear that comes with change, a relationship that has lost all its love, a job that doesn't mean anything to you anymore, or bad habits that hurt your mind and body. These things hold your life together like unseen chains, and we don't let go of them because they make us happy, but only because we've grown accustomed to them, and comfort can take many different forms. Feel safe, but ask yourself, are you really safe? Happy living in this never-ending circle, Stoic wisdom tells us that even though we can't change anything, we can't change what happens in life, but we can change how we react to it. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it's a brave thing to do. We know that some things don't serve us anymore, and we know that we deserve better. So why do we fear? We let go because we believe it implies giving up. Letting go is not admitting loss, victory, or freedom, means that you have the right to seek happiness and live a better life. Imagine you are climbing a mountain with a big bag full of stones. Each stone stands for a hurt, a letdown, or a poison. In a relationship, you keep going up, but each step is harder than the last. It may make you feel heavier that you need to keep the bag, that it is part of you, but just for a second, what if you carefully set it down while taking off the removing stones that aren't needed would make your steps feel lighter and your ascent go faster. As you breathed more freely, you would climb with a soul that was free and no longer weighed down. Stoicism tells us that letting go is also a way to deal with stress. Some way of accepting that we cannot control everything and that not everything we hold on to is really ours to keep forever. Ask yourself, if I let go of this, would I be happy? Most of the time the answer is yes. Could I make room for something better? Holds on to an unhealthy relationship will never have room for a real one. Love someone who stays in a job that doesn't matter will never find their true calling. Passion and someone who is stuck in bad habits will never get healthy. To find the happiness they want, realizing they need to let go is just the first step. Stoic philosophy tells us not to let fear hold us back and to act instead. You're afraid of what you think will happen, not the change itself. Start by making small changes. Ask yourself, does this really make me happy? Get the courage to act if the answer is no. It might mean being honest, talking about making the brave choice to leave, or just writing down the changes. It's important that every little thing you do helps you free your mind and soul. As soon as you learn to let go, you feel a deep sense of freedom. Think of someone sitting by the water and watching the waves crash. On the beach, the waves don't stick to any sand grains, they let everything go. Run back into the ocean, where they become limitless and powerful. In the same way, you don't lose anything when you let go of negativity. You win something. Give yourself strength and make room for the things that deserve to be in your life. Life is a trip, and you don't have to bring everything with you. It seems like all you need to hold on to is what makes you unique. Let go and be stronger and happy. Don't be afraid to lose the things that really matter to you. Important things will stay, and things that don't will fall away on their own, like autumn leaves. Are you prepared to release your issues to allow the fresh growth of spring? Are you ready to free your spirit from the unseen chains that hold it captive? If so, start today. A freer, better life is just over the horizon, so don't wait. Because you deserve it. Thrive by yourself with. If you want to accept yourself, have you ever really listened to yourself in silence? There are times when you have to be alone, and times when you choose to be alone. Stoicism teaches us that real life is a journey to find your true self. You won't be happy if you look for other people to fill the hole inside you. Epicurus said it was wise to learn to love and accept ourselves fully. That person who isn't happy with a little is happy with nothing. Starts inside, and being alone is where you can start building the deepest bond with self-love. Isn't just a catchphrase, it's a powerful way to live your life. Taking care of your health means embracing not only your skills, but also your flaws without judging them, instead of writing bad things about your scars. Look at them as signs that you've been through hard times and become stronger. Every morning, look at yourself in the mirror. Don't look for flaws. Instead, look deeply into your own eyes and tell yourself, I am who I am, and I am enough. Cherish every little moment you take time to do something nice for yourself, like drinking coffee or reading a book you love. Reading a book or just sitting quietly by the window and watching the. There is a big difference between feeling alone and isolation can help you deal with loneliness. It's a sacred time to bond with. Picture yourself walking away from the stresses of the outside world. On a calm beach, the waves are slowly lapping at your feet, and the wind is blowing your hair back, running a soft hand through your hair. At that moment, you don't need anyone else because you are. This is where you are. Marcus Aurelius wrote so beautifully. Nowhere else can a person find a quieter, or this is the gift of solitude. Retreat felt calmer in his own mind than in his own body. On the other hand, loneliness is not a place where you can heal your heart and find your inner strength. When you're not connected to yourself, you can feel empty, even in a busy place. If you're not happy with who you are, you may feel alone in the room. You can't be truly happy by trying to please other people. Instead, you have to accept yourself as you are. Have you ever asked yourself this? Yourself, am I really happy by myself? If the answer is no, then now is a great time to start your journey of self-discovery. Take some time to live, in silence, not as a way to get away from people, but as a way to start over. Keep your mind and soul healthy, and you'll find answers to breaking free from other people's views, forces you to confront questions you've never dared to before. You'll be able to make more honest choices and live a more honest life if you set aside a day for this. Without Facebook, without the world's noise, it's just you and your ideas. What might you learn about yourself? But don't stop there. Stoicism makes us remember that information is useless if it isn't put into practice. Take small steps to get to know yourself, learn a new skill, and take care of your body with healthy foods, or just write down happy thoughts in a writing. These apparently small things down in a journal can make big changes when you're there. The world around you seems lighter, brighter, and more. Take a moment to think deeply about what you feel in your heart when you're by yourself. Feeling empty? Don't be scared. That's not a sign of weakness that you need to get closer to yourself. And when you do, being alone will help you do that. Challenge will no longer seem like a problem, but rather a priceless chance to find the secret power in your soul. Happiness doesn't just come to you. The outside is lit by the fire inside you when you become the light of in your own life. Nothing and no one can dim your brilliance. Be brave and say to the world that you're ready to love yourself and let go of things that don't serve you anymore. These words, "I'm happy with myself," are the start of a strong journey back to yourself. A trip full of love, strength, and value. Third, get rid of all the bad things in your life. Close your eyes for a moment and consider this. Is your life as serene and effortless as a gentle morning breeze? Do you feel like someone is pulling you down and stopping you from going forward? Maybe it's the hurt of mean words or the loss of relationships that make people want to leave. You fed up with old habits that don't help you, but still stick to your Stoicism teaches us that the first step to finding peace of mind is to master the art of getting rid of the harmful things that make us feel bad. Isn't just an letting go, is a process that changes you and a way to give yourself to get the freedom and happiness you deserve. Hang out with people who are going to make you better, Seneca said, and his words are not just advice, but also a wake-up call. Who do you hang out with, and who gets your valuable time and energy on people who make you feel good, or do they bring doubt into your thoughts and hurt your sense of self-worth? These relationships, no matter how things that are familiar or deeply rooted, can hold you back like unseen chains. We want to grow, but we don't want to let go because we're afraid of. But the truth is that holding on to things that don't help you doesn't just make you lonely. Getting tired prevents you from taking advantage of better opportunities. Take a moment to think about how often you've stuck with relationships or habits just because they felt like they were familiar, even though you knew they weren't reflect who you are. Think of how much better your life would be if you had the guts to get rid of these bad things. Picture your life as a garden, overgrown with weeds. If you don't get rid of what's letting the soil drain, how can the flowers of happiness ever bloom? Cleansing isn't simple. You have to setting limits with people close to you can make saying no feel weird at times. It may feel bad at first, but remember that every time you say no to something, when you say yes to yourself, you're letting yourself know that you deserve it. Boundaries are the walls that separate people who don't want to be with each other. Protect your inner sanctuary. I learned about a young woman who found herself enmeshed in an abusive relationship. She was afraid to leave the relationship because she thought she would never find someone who would accept her, but one day she did. She first decided to walk away because the emptiness was too much for her. It seemed impossible to get through, but after a few months, she understood that the emptiness was a gift. She could plant the seeds of self-love, freedom, and a better life. Connections. When she stepped out of her comfort zone and into the unknown, even when it felt scary, her life changed. It's unsettling to think that you could be facing a similar decision on one side right now. Is tired comfort in what's known? On the other, an uncharted road full of possible. The question isn't whether you should change, but whether you're brave enough to do so. Remember to let go. Leaving something behind is not the end, it's the start of a new life. Today, ask yourself who in your life makes you feel good, and what in your everyday life makes you stronger, and what breaks you down, holds you back. Be brave, because getting rid of harmful substances is, finally, the journey of finding yourself again, whole, energetic, and extraordinary. Once you get rid of the bad vibes, you'll discover an invaluable. This is the place where light can come in and shine on your true self. It's the best time to look inside yourself and find the strength in your own worth. We often miss a prize because of all the noise and problems in life. How can you see and respect the power that's inside you? Let's move on to the next lesson and look more into this trip of finding out about yourself together. Number 4, strong sense of self-worth. Picture yourself looking straight into a mirror. When you look at yourself, do you see a strong, proud, and resilient person, or someone who is still stuck in societal standards and the fear of not being good enough? Enough Stoicism tells us that real happiness doesn't come from what other people think, but from realizing and valuing the worth that lies within us. The journey of finding one time, Marcus Aurelius wrote, that this power is the way to true freedom and inner peace, are in charge of your thoughts, not outside events. Understand this, and you will strength. Your real strength lies in your mind control. Starts. Take a moment every day to tell yourself, I deserve love and respect. Don't just say it, feel it. Let those words soak into every part of your. Each affirmation is like a light shining on the dark shadows of self-doubt in your thoughts. A beam of light that cuts through the bad and lets you see the value in, has always been inside you. When was the last time you treated yourself well? Not for something big, but for small, quiet wins, like when you faced a fear and got through a day when you did your best, even though no one saw, or the times you didn't give up, even though it was easier to do so, because they show how valuable you are, not because someone else told you so, but because you did it yourself. When was the last time you were truly proud of who you are? And what made me forget that I deserve love and respect? For Seneca, it wasn't the man who needed approval from his mother to feel important. Who doesn't have enough but wants more is one who is always poor. Needing other people's support can be a heavy burden that drains your energy. How often have you changed your mind? How many times have you given up your happiness to make someone else happy? The truth is, outward validation for a short time of praise doesn't last. Your real worth comes from how you treat. Imagine making a picture. If you always ask other people what they think, there will always be more to add to the picture. But if you paint from the heart, with passion and honesty, the painting will have a unique beauty, no matter what other people think of you. Your life is the same. Will you live the life other people want you to live, or will you paint the life you really want? Epictetus wrote that freedom is the ability to break free from social norms, the only important goal in life, and you can only reach it by ignoring what's beyond. We decide who says you need a perfect family, a well-known job, or a busy social life to be happy. The truth is that no one else can make that choice for you. Imagine being by the ocean by yourself, listening to the waves and feeling the soft breeze. Isn't that moment of peace, when there's no noise or doubt, a kind of, you don't need praise or acceptance to be happy. You just need the freedom to be. Stoicism doesn't just help us understand ourselves. It also pushes us to act and change. Take steps to make your ideas about self-worth real. Sign up for a class you've always wanted to take. I wanted to make a good habit or write every day about something. The fear of not being good enough at work used to paralyze one guy. He chose to learn a new skill that he was interested in, and every day he got better at it. He felt more confident not because other people told him so, but because he knew the value of always getting better. Marcus Aurelius said it best. Don't waste time fighting about what a good man should be like. Never again question your worth. Instead, be proud of who you are. So, what are you going to do today to feel good about your self-worth? Do it because you deserve it. A lot more than you ever thought possible. And now that we're in the middle of my journey, I want to thank you for sticking with me this far. Commitment. Show that you really want to know yourself and accept change. Each part of this video is important for a bigger picture, so stay with me until the end to get useful information and a full plan for living a happy, independent life. If what you've heard so far has made you realize something new, do not forget to give this video a like. It's a small thing that helps us share more important ideas with more people. Number 5. Boost your confidence. Trust develops through action, much like a flame, it doesn't ignite on its own, must be sparked by constant action and relentless daily effort. Stoics believe that action is not just a part of life, it is what life is built on, which we shape ourselves. It's how we show that we can be happy, strong, and alone. Epictetus said that knowing is the first step to happiness and freedom. Of one rule, we can control some things and not others. A simple but profound fact has a lot of power. You can change your decisions based on your feelings and the work you put in every day, but you can't change how other people see you or make the world fit your. Don't wait for someone or something to make you happy. Do it yourself. Imagine that you are standing alone in a room that is empty. Some people may feel lonely, a sense of fear, or even panic. But what if you see it differently? What if it's a chance to take care of yourself and focus on what's important? Start with the smallest things. It could be making a healthy meal or finally learning to play an instrument that you've always wanted to. Learn that these aren't just acts. They're also silent DEC explorations to you are worth the work. And trust doesn't come from making big jumps. But know that there's no need to from the small steps you take every day. Don't rush or try to beat other people. Success doesn't happen fast and you don't have to. If you need to demonstrate anything to the world, ask yourself, what did I accomplish today? Something I'm proud of, even if it's just reading a page of a book, a new meal, or just getting up early to start the day with clarity. These small, steady efforts build a strong base for trust. And happiness, of course. The road isn't always easy, and there will be times when self-doubt, especially when other people don't agree with or question your decisions. But here's the truth, you don't. You don't need everyone's support to prove your worth. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Reasons to be true to yourself. Marcus Aurelius says that life is, it's too short to argue about what it means to be a good person. Instead, be one. Picture yourself as the captain of a ship that is traveling across a huge, uncharted ocean. There will be storms, big waves, and rough winds, but as long as you hold your hand steady on the helm and keep going forward, you'll get to the land eventually. Different. You can't change the waves or the wind, but you can change how you find your way around them. And don't just think about making changes, do something. Write down a small but important plan for today and make a choice. Do what you've been putting off because you're afraid. Confidence is not the lack of fear. Having the guts to keep going even though things are hard is what it takes. What will my life be like, and what great things could happen if I start now? Unfold. These questions aren't just thoughts. They're the sparks that ignite action. Being happy isn't a place you get to. It's a trip you take one step at a time, step by step, day by day. And as you act, you're responsible for your. When you look at your feelings and your happiness, you'll see that confidence isn't just a state of mind. It's a way to live your life. Confidence lights the way through every task life throws at you and moves you forward. But to really feel at ease, you need to let go of the emotional weight you've been holding for a long time, face your past, and find a way to heal from it. This is the hardest step of all. Don't skip this important step, because the next lesson will open a very important truth. The amazing power of number 6. Forgiveness is a way to heal. Large amounts of power for other people and for your own soul. Anger is like a taut rope with all your strength on the other end. With relentless force, anger and sadness pulling against you. The rope cuts into your hands more deeply the tighter you hold on, and hurting. But what if you let go? What if you let go of the rope and took a step back? The pain would start to go away, and there would be a huge empty space in front of you. Show itself through acceptance, which is the act of letting go. Stop hurting yourself and welcome the chance to feel free and happy. Freedom. Forgiving someone doesn't mean ignoring what they did wrong. does not mean that I agree with what you did. Instead, it is a brave choice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best way to get back at someone is to not be like them." The biggest strength is not in keeping a grudge, but rising above it and refusing to let someone else's "what you do" shapes who you are. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is the highest virtue. Showing inner mastery and power, think about the wounds you carry. If you were angry, it could mean that someone you trusted deeply let you down. It burned like a burning fire, and you thought it was keeping you safe from more harm, but that fire, no matter how fierce, can only burn one. Who gives it food? Nelson Mandela said that anger is like drinking poison. Being angry at your enemy and wishing it will kill them does not help. When you choose to forgive others, it hurts your own heart more. You don't need to say sorry. You just need to tell yourself, "I've had enough." To let go and forgive is also to get back to yourself. A lot of us carry shame and guilt over past mistakes that make us let them drag us down. Like unseen chains, we keep playing over and over our mistakes, telling ourselves we don't deserve. Everyone has times when they feel weak, but those times don't make you who you are. Slip-ups aren't fails, they're lessons. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? From this, who can I become? Forgiving yourself means being open to your being, aware of your flaws, while also seeing the chance to become better. Think of the flow of a river. There are boulders of anger, grief, and sadness in the way of these stones. Path that's getting stuck and cloudy, but as you start to clear each stone is an act of forgiveness that lifts the weight off the river so it can run freely. I am once again alive and unstoppable. Are there rocks in the way of the river of your life? What could happen if you were brave and patient and moved them one at a time? It's not easy to forgive. You have to be brave to face your pain. Although you are vulnerable to hurt, each step you take toward forgiveness brings you closer to freedom. Bad feelings and the past no longer hold you back. Instead, you take back control of your life. Finding peace even when you're by yourself. Life is a never-ending journey of motion. You can choose to bear the things that make you feel heavy or to let go of them and proceed with ease. Forgiveness is more than that. It is a choice to not let pain rule you. It is an action. It is a change. It is a strong statement. You chose peace, love, and a life worth living. What about you? Have you ever had a time when you had to forgive to move on? Is there something you've been holding on to for too long, only to find that letting go gave you the freedom you were looking for? Share your story in the comments section below. Your writing might be more than just a representation of, could be a beacon of hope for someone going through their own problems. Don't be shy. This is a place for, through compassion, healing, and relationship, we can all encourage each other to accept what it means to forgive and the peace it brings. Number 7, learn to trust. The journey of life resembles an unending stream of mysteries and turns you didn't see coming, but have you ever asked yourself, the real thing that keeps you from finding peace is the fear of losing it? Stoicism shows us how to deal with fear of the unknown or anger when things don't go as planned. That if we want to be truly happy, we have to learn to trust our path, even when the doubt clouds the path ahead. And we frequently become engrossed in the concept of perfection, a picture of life where everything fits together perfectly, but it doesn't work. In this way, it's like a tapestry made from unplanned events, failures, and even heartaches. But these flaws are what make you strong. Think about your life for a moment. How many times have you tripped and then gotten back up stronger? We learned that flaws aren't the enemy, but teaching challenges are. Chances to learn how to adapt better and enjoy life for what it's worth. It really is. Think of your life as a yard. To make it grow, you have to cut back the dead stems, get rid of the weeds, and make room for new growth. In life too, you have to let go of things that don't help you anymore, whether they're unhealthy relationships, old dreams, or unreasonable demands of when you do this, you unlock new opportunities and foster better relationships and a better quality of life. But letting go takes guts. Are you ready to do it? Let go of what you know and make room for what you don't know, believing that the journey won't fail you. To just sit around and wait for magic to happen, it takes patience. Having faith that every effort you make, no matter how small, counts. If you put a seed in the ground, it doesn't grow into a big tree. It takes time, sun, water, and even weather for life to grow. Works the same way. Big dreams can't come true all at once, but if you wait and believe in the small steps you take over and over, the Stoicism tells us that happiness will come when the time is right. Not in being able to control everything, but in being able to control how we react to things. When things are out of our hands, put your hand on your chest and ask yourself, am I spending my valuable time and energy on things I can't change? What can I do today how can I live with more peace and strength? These are the questions you need to ask yourself every day and when you're ready to move. If you believe in yourself, the trip will seem a little less scary. Life's road isn't always clear. There will be times when you'll be standing on a misty trail and not be able to see more than there are a few steps ahead. But that's the beauty of it. You don't need to see them. You only need to keep going one step at a time on the whole road. The only thing you need on a trip is the courage to keep going. Remind yourself of this over and over again. Every problem is a chance to learn and grow, and as you trust your path, you will not only find peace, but also the power that is already inside you. Are you ready for the next step on your journey? Trust me, the light is. Look ahead and witness the light that your trust and patience will create. When you're by yourself, happiness is. It's not about being empty or alone. It's a priceless treat you give yourself when you learn to love yourself and trust that life will take you where it needs to go. Stop putting too much pressure on yourself and focus on what you can really control. Stoicism doesn't offer an easy way, but it teaches mental and emotional peace. Light even when things are dark. From that inner light, you'll find out that being alone isn't what makes you happy. Knowing you're enough is. Just the way you are. If this video made you think about something important, please click the like button and let us know if the word speaks to you. Leave your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your story. Also, don't forget to share this on Reflections. Watch this video with the people you care about. A simple message can sometimes move people. Great change in someone's life. Finally click the subscribe button today, because these wise words will lead you to even more thoughtful and useful material. The journey of self-discovery has just started, and I can't wait to go with you.